back to my channel. It's Miss Jackson if you're classy. Today I'm coming at y'all with something a little bit different, something a little bit out of the norm of what I've been posting, but I feel like it's necessary. I feel like it's important, and I feel like it needs to be said. So I'm just gonna come out with it and say how I feel. But first, I want to start off by saying happy birthday, Breonna Taylor. Today is Breonna Taylor's birthday. She would have been 27 years old, right around the same age as me, 27 years old. And the fact that she lost her life the way that she did at the hands of who she did is unfathomable. It's wrong, and it's disheartening. It's heartbreaking. It really is. And really, y'all, I'm making this video with a very heavy heart. A very heavy heart. And it's difficult for me, actually, to be sitting here filming this right now, talking about this. It's just, we love you, Breonna Taylor, and we are so sorry for what happened to you. It should not have happened, and we will continue to fight for you. And the same thing goes for George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, the list goes on. The list literally goes on. If I was to sit here and name everybody, every black person, every black human being that has died at the hand of racism, police brutality, the injustice system. There's no such thing as a justice system for us. The injustice system. It just makes no sense that we are here in the year 2020, yet this is what we're still experiencing. I mean, and even in ways that make no sense. How can we be minding our own business, taking a walk in the park, and because a white woman feels threatened, she can take out her phone and call 911 and make up a whole story about how threatened she feels by a black man? Y'all know what I'm talking about. And let me just go ahead and say right now, if you're offended by anything that I'm saying, you are a part of the problem. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Now is not the time to be holding back on our feelings, holding back on the truth, holding back on what we are truly experiencing as black people in this world, in this nation. It's not the time for that anymore. So I'm not gonna do it. So if you came here expecting me to hold back, bite my tongue, not express what I'm really feeling and experiencing, you came for the wrong reasons. And if you choose, you can exit stage left. Because right now I'm being real. I'm being completely transparent. And I'm not here to protect anybody's feelings. Because at the end of the day, we as black people are not being protected as human beings. So why would I care about protecting anyone's feelings? That's not what I'm here for. So I just wanted to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there before I continue. It just really is what it is. Things have just really gotten out of hand, out of control. And a lot of people like to talk about, oh, the progression America has made, or, you know, how far we've come. Are we allowed to, you know, not live on plantations and not be slaves in the field? Absolutely. But have we really progressed since then? I just feel like they have found a way to enslave us in many other ways. I mean, the prison system, when you think about it, that is a form of slavery. Because if you look at the statistics of prisons, predominantly black men predominantly black men. And I will get those statistic facts for you up on the screen. In 2014, black people constituted 2.3 million, or 34% of the total correctional population. We were incarcerated at more than 5 times the rates of whites. The imprisonment rate for black women is twice that of white women. All over nationwide, black children represent 32% of children who are arrested, 42% are detained, 52% of children whose cases are judicially waived to criminal court. Though black people and Hispanics make up approximately 32% of the U.S. population, they comprised 56% of all incarcerated people in 2015. Predominantly black men fill our prison systems. And I can guarantee you there is a high percentage of them that were wrongly accused and innocently put into that prison. Knowingly by the justice system, by the injustice system. Knowingly. I know that for a fact. So let's not parade how much we've progressed if we're still protesting in the year 2020 about the lives of black people. Let's not do that. Because there's so much progression that we still need to see, that we still need to come into. I just don't understand how as a force, as a unit that was meant to protect us, are the very ones killing us off, are the very ones that we can't call if we feel in danger of our lives. The very system, the very force, the very unit, and I am talking about the police department. Now, am I saying that every single police is racist, is a bad cop, is no good? No. However, when you choose not to stand up to your coworker, when you choose not to stand up to your partner, I sat there and watched those videos and saw so many police partners sit there and watch, do nothing. Literally did nothing to try to help this man, to save this man's life. It really makes no sense. It makes no sense, and it's gone too far. And a lot of people are wondering, well, why are people out here protesting and rioting, and now they're looting and they're just crazy? Tearing down your own community is not going to solve anything, it's not going to help anything. Do I believe looting is right? No. But do I condemn those people for looting? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, black people are tired. We are fed up with the continuation of our lives being taken, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our children. We are tired of it happening. Everybody has a breaking point. Everybody. And this just happens to be ours. This just happens to be our breaking point. So when you're worried about buildings and companies and businesses more than the lives of black people, let's just even X out black right now, more than the lives of human beings. That just shows you how much we've progressed. Because I honestly have seen, don't get me wrong, I have seen white people and other races, some, stand up for what's going on right now. But I have also seen many of people combat the rioting and the looting and the protesting with those crazy black people are tearing down their own community, and that's not helping anything. You're missing the whole point, the whole picture of it all. The whole issue at hand. You're literally, and some people, it's ignorance. Some people are choosing to because they simply don't care. And that is one thing that I'm really starting to see. A lot of people can claim to be ignorant. Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't really understand. I'll never. No, you won't understand. But a lot of it is also because you choose not to. Because it doesn't affect your life personally the way it affects ours, you choose not to give into it as much. You choose not to give it enough research, enough thought, enough empathy. You choose not to. So don't sit there and say, oh, it's just because you didn't know. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because at the end of the day, we are just human. Human. That's all black people have ever wanted to be seen as human beings. Yet we still get looked at as animals. We still get looked at as thugs. Thugs, as y'all president want to say. Thugs. Don't even get me started on him. Don't even get me started on him. This is just, it's really a heartful right now, honestly. And it's just something that I really refuse. I really, really, really refuse to be silent about anymore. Anymore. I'm not going to be silent to spare people's feelings. I'm not going to be silent to not be seen as the angry black woman. I'm not going to be silent to please my employers. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. I am a black teacher, a black educator. I teach little black children. As a matter of fact, that's all I teach. With a few brown and Hispanic kids every now and then. All I teach are kids that look like me. And it was purposely done. I purposely passed up jobs in other neighborhoods. Purposely passed up other schools to work at. I purposely did it because I know who needs me. The same way I needed me when I was a child. I can count on one hand how many teachers I had that looked like me. And that spoke volumes. It spoke volumes. So as a teacher, as a professional educator, I refuse to be silent when I have young black children looking up to me, when I have younger siblings and cousins and family members looking up to me. I refuse. And now that I have this platform on YouTube, I will use this as much as I can to fight for us as well. As heavy as this is to talk about right now, I'm not going to hold back on anything anymore, because it's honestly gotten to the point where enough is enough. Social media has probably been the heaviest right now. And honestly, I'm thankful for it, because that is why We know a lot of what we know, and we see a lot of what we see. Had social media not been a thing, or cameras and videos not been a thing, we wouldn't even be knowing half of this stuff is going on. Unless it happened personally to us. We wouldn't even know. Because if you think about it, they don't put half of what happens to us on the news. They don't. Ahmaud Arbery was murdered in February. February. We did not hear about it till when? May. May. I thought it had just happened. That man was shot and killed in February. And then trickling down. More brothers and sisters. And another thing that I've been seeing that really also has my heart broken is the fact that still in this time, Black people, not all, but some Black people are finding ways to still cause division amongst ourselves. Black people are still finding ways to cause division between ourselves. We have got to stop doing that. I have seen posts and arguments on Twitter and Facebook and all other kind of stuff of who is showing more love. Black women to Black men or Black men to Black women. I don't feel like Black women stand up for us like they should. What? First of all, that's not the truth. Because I have seen it and I myself have done it plenty of times. Profess my love for Black men and the Black race. And many of other women have done it daily before this whole thing even came about. That is, I don't know who you're following or who you're surrounded by, but that's all I see is Black women uplifting Black men. And I see it from Black men as well, uplifting Black women. But despite how you might feel about that or whatever, that's a conversation for another day. Now is not the time to be having that conversation. Now is the time to come together to uplift one another. Not talk about what you don't see or what you don't feel or what you don't like. Let's do it. How about let's start now? It's starting with you. It's starting with me. If you don't feel like enough Black women are uplifting Black men, then start uplifting a Black woman. Black women, if you don't feel like your Black men are uplifting you, start by uplifting a Black man. Let's start doing what we want to see. Instead of just sitting there complaining about it, especially in a moment like this, where we should be coming together as one. I'm tired of the Black community doing that to one another. I'm tired of that. Like I said, I ain't come here to spare nobody's feelings. I'm talking to us too. I'm tired of seeing that. I love us, but we need to come together, especially in times like this. Another thing, that video that transpired of that group of Black people jumping and beating up that trans woman, Black trans woman, broke my heart. Broke my heart. Broke my heart for one, that's very personal to me because my very best friend is a trans woman. And that could have very well been her. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't care what happened with the car situation. I don't care about what the story was. The fact remains the same, that they should never have put their hands on that woman the way that they did. Never. They came at her like they wanted to kill her. like they wanted to kill her. In this time, with what we're experiencing right now, I don't understand it. I don't understand. It was very heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. And I just don't understand because it's like they saw her as less of a person because she was trans. Let's not forget, she's Black, which means she's one of us. She's trans, so she already goes through enough on the daily. I'm positive. That just was so uncalled for. It was heartbreaking. It was disturbing to see. And it is just not, it's not what should be happening. And something has got to change about that. Black lives matter, but Black trans lives matter too. There shouldn't even be two hashtags about that. A Black trans life is a Black life. And if you getting the two confused and you separating the two, you're a part of the problem, whether you're Black or not. And that's another thing. It's so many layers to this. It's sickening. But if you are one of those people that every time you hear someone or see someone say Black Lives Matter, you rebuttal it with all lives matter, you are part of the problem. That is so ignorant. The fact that all lives matter is even a trend and even a topic of conversation right now is ridiculous and it's sickening. That just shows how you devalue the Black life. I've been seeing so many analogies on the internet, and it is so true. I saw one where there was a woman that was going to see about a house that was on fire. And another woman had stopped her and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going?" The woman said, "Oh, I'm on my way to go check on, this family on their house. It's burning. It's on fire." The woman said, "Well, what about my house?" The other woman looked at her and was like, "Your house is nice, but I'm going to go check on this house." And the other woman had the nerve to say, "Well, what about my house? My house matters too." The other woman was like, "Okay, but yes, this house, your house is nice, it matters, but this house is on fire. It's in danger. This is the house that's at stake right now with their family. I'm going to go help this house. Your house is fine." That is exactly what the All Lives Matter statement sounds like. That is what it is. Yes, all lives matter. That is not what we are saying. Never once did we say only Black lives matter. And the fact that we have to continuously, constantly explain this is frustrating. Because how? How do you not understand that? We know your life matters, but we are saying our life matters too because it's not being treated like it does. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. We have to put it out there that our lives matter. That's a shame in itself right there. The fact that we have to voice, hey, don't forget us, our lives matter too. That's a shame. That's sad. So if you with that all lives matter stuff, you can miss me with that. Honestly, I had to, there was somebody that I considered a close person to my family Not that they weren't in our family by blood, but we grew up around them, close to our family. And this person, when I think about it, there are a lot of people that fetishize the Black community. They fetishize us. That's a lot of what it is. They love our culture. They love our style. They love our comedy. They love our athletic ability. They love our entertainment talents. They love all of that. They love it. But when it's time to stand up for us, they ain't nowhere to be found, and that's exactly what this person did. This person has been so silent during this whole time. When as much as you ride for us any other time, when it has nothing to do with police brutality or Black Lives Matter or the issue at hand, you riding for us, oh, you down. But when it came to this situation, you had nothing to say. Nothing to say until you reposted one thing. And when you reposted that, it said, well, all lives matter, but. What, are you serious? Are you serious? And to me, that just brings me into the whole cancel thing. Like, yes, we are considered the cancel culture or whatever, however you want to look at it, whatever. But at the end of the day, a statement like that shows me your true colors and where you really stand. Because in that moment, it wasn't about all lives. It was about Black lives. But you chose to devalue the Black life in that moment and make it about all lives, when all lives are not at stake right now. All lives are not suffering right now. All lives are not dying at the hands of those meant to protect us right now. So in my book, you lost a lot of respect from me. I have lost a lot of respect for you. And it's just really sad to me. It's really sad. And as far as all of these celebrities that are coming out and being canceled and X'd out, to be honest, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel sorry for you. Because here you are, you were given, blessed with the platform to speak up for us, blessed with the platform to stand up for us, blessed with the platform to do something, to make a change. Your influence that you have could have done numbers, more than you can imagine. Yet you chose to sit back. You chose to step back. You chose to sit down instead of stand up. You chose to be silent instead of speak up. Or you chose to devalue us as a whole as well. So, do I have any sympathy for those celebrities being canceled? No. No. Because if little old me can get on here and speak up, there is no excuse why you shouldn't be. Afraid to lose what? Afraid to lose what? Your following? Your money? We are losing Black lives out here. Black lives. So I don't feel sorry for you. When does it end? When does it end? So what are our steps after this, after our protesting, after our marching? What are our next steps? How are we really going to move forward and demand change? Well, we can start by looking in the mirror at what we ourselves are doing, what we ourselves are changing. I'm deciding not to be silent anymore. I'm deciding not to be silent anymore. I'm deciding to support more Black businesses. I'm deciding not to support businesses that don't care about us, that don't care about me, that support him. And y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not supporting that anymore. I'm going to sign as many petitions as I can. I'm going to donate as much as I can. But most importantly, one of the biggest things that I plan on doing to demand change in this country is I'm going down to the polls on November the 3rd, 2020. And I'm voting. And you should too. Let's not feed into that whole our vote doesn't matter anymore. Our vote doesn't count thing anymore. Let's not do that. Let's go down there and show them that our vote counts just as much as theirs. So meet me at the polls on November 3rd, 2020. Don't forget, in the state of Texas, June 15th is the last day to register to vote. June 15th, 2020 is the last day in the state of Texas to register to vote. Don't miss that deadline. Get out there and register so that we can get out there together and vote. I love y'all. I really do. Black people, my family, I love y'all. Let's stick together in this time. And if you are not Black, I pray that God opens up your heart, opens up your mind, opens up your eyes to see what literally is happening right now. And I dare you to stand with us, stand up for us. For those of you who have, thank you. And I pray it comes from a genuine place in your heart. But something's got to change. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all later. As always, stay classy and stay sassy. Miss Jackson out.